What's up, everybody? We just got to give a quick shout out to our boy Mark Yeager, who made this awesome new intro for us you're about to hear. We forgot to do it in the original recording, so check him out, markyeager.com. If you need any music done for any film or television, look him up. Guy's a champion.
On November 22nd, 1963, at precisely 12:30 p.m. at the Daley Plaza in Dallas, Texas, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, was shot while riding in a motorcade and pronounced dead nearly 45 minutes later. On September 1964, the findings of the U.S. Commission that was responsible for reporting on the assassination, dubbed the Warren Commission, concluded that the shot that killed the 35th President came from the 6th floor of the southeast window of the Texas School Book Depository. 3 shots were fired. Lee Harvey Oswald worked alone and also murdered police officer J.D. Tippit 45 minutes later.
Welcome to Alien Theorist Theorizing, Case File 50! I'm Braden.
I'm Zell.
And I'm deaf. Jesus.
I worked my karaoke voice.
It was great.
I don't know, how'd we get to 50? It's impossible.
Hit those long notes. It is pretty crazy. It's been a long road, many a winding turn.
I think the vast majority of podcasts don't make to 50, so we're doing something right.
Well, we're doing something. We're doing something right by just talking.
We're just doing
and recording.
We're just doing something
consistently. Consistently and consistently.
I was just gonna say that.
Recording a podcast. Case File 50. JFK assassination. Interesting stuff. But man, I got to tell you guys real quick.
Yep.
We've had some fun. I didn't see auroras forever.
You going right to space news?
Here? No, this isn't space news. This is just more of
observation.
So like observations. So I want to tell you guys a little story. So my new thing is whenever I get my aurora alerts on my cell phone, honest to God, for me, I find they either come out at 8, 9:30, 11, or like 2 in the morning. And then, so like 2 days ago, so today's Friday, 2 days ago, there was a good chance for aurora. So I went out just by myself into a field, and I was sitting there, and whenever they start popping up, I'm always thinking like, I'm just looking at the night sky, and I'm like, I can't tell if it's auroras are starting or it's just clouds being illuminated by the moon when the moon's in the sky. So I was sitting there, and I was just about gave up, and I got in my truck. And I fired up my truck, and right as I fired my truck up and started pulling away, the sky exploded, man. I saw reds, purples. I saw everything. It was the best one I've ever seen. All across the sky. It looked like it was rain, like it was something else. And I sat there for 25 minutes. Like it was just unbelievable. 25-minute show of the best, most spectacular Northern Lights I've ever seen in my life.
Sounds pretty rad.
They had some big ones in Kelowna too, so it was like must have been a huge sun explosion.
I'm super distracted right now. By the way, I don't know why. As soon as you mid speech, you said when the moon hits your eye, and the entire time I'm like, when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. That's some
aurora.
Oh, that's good. There you go.
Hey.
Perfect.
That's great.
Okay, sorry.
I just wanted to share that. So yeah, it's that same night they were hitting you. I saw the report. That's the night I saw them here, and they were just absolutely incredible.
That's awesome.
Mind blowing.
It's about time.
Okay,
you got some good auroras on you.
So since it's story time, I gotta get this off my fucking chest.
Okay.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's been hyping this all day.
Well, I haven't been hyping it, but it's fucking crazy. Well, I think it's crazy. You might be a little bit of a letdown. So, anyways, first of all, I'm fucking stressed out. I'm at the gym. Somebody's texting me nonstop. pick up sushi on the way home. So I'm like, okay, no problem. Like, you call it in, order it, I'll go get it. So I told her, I'm like, Momo's on the west side. Perfect, right? Finish my gym, finish the gym, go all the way to Momo's on the west side with my lovely companion, Axel, in the back seat, my dog. Get there, go to pick up my order, and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Nobody ordered any sushi.
Oh, awesome.
So I call Jessica. I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, oh, I forgot, my bad. So I'm sitting there for 20 minutes playing fetch with Axel in my car. And while I'm playing fetch with them, there's this fucking, a person whom doesn't have a home, a homeless individual.
Right.
Sitting there.
Or hobo for short.
Hobo. There
No,
you go.
no. There's a difference between homeless and hobo.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Hobos
What's the
are
difference?
The quick tangent story.
Yeah.
One time I drank moonshine with a hobo, and he corrected me. I was like, "Oh, you homeless?" He's like, "No, man, I'm a hobo." I was like, "What's the difference?" He's like, "I choose to be homeless, man. I like to travel around city to city, make my moonshine. I'm not homeless though." I was like,
Oh, like the littlest hobo. That's why they call him the littlest hobo. I was wondering why.
So-
difference between hobo and homeless person.
You know the littlest hobo?
So
You
which
You know,
one?
The dog,
which,
maybe tomorrow. The fucking little German Shepherd running around. Canadian show.
Yeah,
Fucking great.
yeah, I do. Okay.
so is it the homeless or the hobos? Which ones have the bindles?
The hobos.
Hobos.
Hobos with the
Hobos.
stick and the fucking scarf.
Yeah, that's
Those
called
are
a
hobos,
bindle.
Yeah.
They're traveling around. They choose to do it because they like it.
Okay, anyways, back to scene. I'm playing fetch with my dog. This guy's not a hobo. I like hobos. They sound cool. This guy was definitely
guys.
homeless because he's a piece of shit. Anyways, so I go back I put Axel in the car. I go back to get my sushi, but I got the windows. You know what I mean? It's night, but whatever. You want Axel to breathe, whatever.
Yeah.
So I go pick up sushi. I'm in there, 10 minutes paying, whatever, shooting the shit with the person. I'm on my way out. And this fucking homeless guy is half in my car.
Get out.
Right? And he's like, and I can see through the window, and he's like grabbing Axel and trying to pull my dog out the fucking window, right? And my dog's awesome. So I can understand why he's trying to steal him, but fuck him. Don't steal my dog.
Can't steal a dog.
Instant red. I run up to my car without even saying anything, and he's half in my car. Wrap my arms around his waist and German fucking suplex him.
Get out.
As hard as I could, tossed him. So I slam him, and then I I'm still seeing red, so I run over to kind of get on top of him or whatever. And now, what are you doing? And as soon as I go to get on top of him, the fucking theater that's right beside it is getting out. And there's people walking into the seat, and they see me fucking standing on top of this fucking homeless guy, throttling him, and there's this, what are you doing? Oh my God, don't touch him! I got my phone! And people are recording me and yelling at me and screaming. Oh, it's horrible. They call him you're a fucking piece of shit, man. What's wrong with you? I'm
I try to steal my fucking dog.
Oh, it wasn't even worth explaining it. It's horrible. Cops came. It was bad.
You talk to the cops?
Oh, yeah.
You're like, listen,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
in my car.
she took off, but they're like, we're holding you here until the police come. I'm like, you don't have to hold me. I'll fucking stand here. I got nothing to hide. But yeah, I was rattled.
It's funny.
It was fucking so bad.
I just picture it.
If you see a video of me and a homeless person, I was provoked. Okay.
It'll probably have some ridiculous title too, like "Man abuses homeless man for panhandling."
Yeah, something
It'll
ridiculous
be
like that.
it'll be ISIS terrorist suplexes homeless man.
Homeless patriot.
homeless patriot attacked by
army vet. Homeless army vet.
attacked by man with Lebanese roots.
Yeah. Fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be my fault why Canada gets put on the no-fly list.
Yeah, we can't go to the States. Either.
Travel banned.
Travel banned.
It's my fault.
Were you screaming at him or what? Yeah, that's probably why they couldn't understand what you're saying.
I can't help it. Listen, I can't help it. It's
Yeah.
whenever I engage someone in combat, it's in my blood to go, yeah, 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 yeah. I can't help it. It just comes out. It's not my
Allah Akbar.
Allah, Allah, Akbar, Allah. No, I don't. That's racist.
Yeah.
That's racist.
I would have filmed that too.
Sure. You can't be racist to that.
Can I? Well,
You can do it.
Yeah.
Remember-
It's
can
like,
I?
it's like,
remember
it's like
when you're-
fucking
Can
Russell
I-
Peters. It's like Russell Peters
No,
could be
it's not
racist
like
to
Russell.
anybody.
It's not like Russell Peters because you look at Russell Peters and you're like, that guy's East Indian. You look at me and you're like, maybe that guy's Italian or Mexican
That's
or
true, yeah.
Greek.
You could be mistaken for many different things.
Yeah.
Did we ever tell the story when you were saying that in the airports?
Oh, that was the best.
You were screaming that in the airport?
No, okay, so
Oh,
the whole
dude.
time before our fucking WrestleMania trip, the entire time, Braden's giving me the gear. He's like, ooh, how many times do you think you're going to get randomly selected? Hey, buddy. Ooh, ooh. And making fun of me. I shit you not, on every single one of our flights, I fucking breeze by and he gets randomly selected. And as they pull him to the side, I'm breezing by going, Allahu Akbar, Allah, Allah, Allahu Akbar, Assalamu Alaikum. Oh, so funny.
He's saying it, and like he's saying in earshot that I'm standing with these TSA agents, and I can hear it, and they give no shit. They're just like, well, obviously this white guy's got something to hide. He's hanging out with them.
No, it's because I blend in, man. All those whatever agents you call them, TSA, is that right?
In the States, yeah.
Yeah, all the TSA, they all blended. They're all Mexican and brown. It's perfect. Remember when I walked by and that guy, I'm wearing my Detroit Lions hat, and he's like, oh, that's a sick hat, brah. I walk by, and then he grabs you. He's like, hey, wait a sec. Come here, man.
Hey.
Come here, brah.
He said, hey, Powder, where are you going?
Yeah. Hey, Honky, what do you think you're doing? Yeah. It's perfect. Times are changing. You're the minority.
Let's get right into some space news.
Oh, yeah. What do you got?
Kind of a cold one. Cool one.
Ugh. What's wrong with you?
The oldest evidence of life on Earth found in Canadian rocks, baby.
All right.
Oh, claim to fame.
3.95 billion-year-old Labrador rocks contain graphite that appears to have come from living organisms. The fucking first life was Canadian, motherfuckers.
Fucking right.
Heard it here first.
Really? So that the last one that they had was in Africa, I thought, right?
I think it was actually in Australia.
Oh, was it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with that shit. They're always finding something new.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's us now?
Us now. Hold the record for now.
Suck on that,
The rest of
Australia,
you-
Mesopotamia, whoever else. You're no longer the cradle of life. Canada is.
Yeah.
Suck it.
Yeah, 2 words for you.
That's right, bud.
This is not so much space news other than it was a cool science one. Researchers restore consciousness in a man after 15 years in a vegetative state.
Fuck off.
15 years?
No way.
15 years.
You reading this on the fucking tabloids or something? That right next to Bat Boy? I don't know. Where is this?
Hey, tabloids are true.
Yeah.
You ever seen Men in Black?
Yeah.
I've seen Bat Boy, all right? You don't talk bad about Bat Boy.
I bet you Bat Boy listens to this podcast.
So the science behind it is fucking far.
Okay,
I don't understand.
Okay, back up though. I want fucking definition of consciousness. Like, what do you consider consciousness? Like, are we talking fucking eyes open, blinking, that kind of shit? Are we talking like fully lucid, responding? Like,
they restored signs of consciousness.
Oh man, see, you got to be better with these stories here.
Called vagus nerve simulation. Stimulation.
Do you know where the vagus nerve is located?
No idea.
I do not.
In your dick?
Nope. No.
I don't know.
Vagus nerve.
Vagus nerves go from I think it's like C6 in your spine to your heart. That's like, have you ever heard of the vagal maneuver when somebody's like having their heart's racing?
Oh, you're supposed to like try and
they stimulate that nerve, which like stimulates up your parasympathetic nervous system, which
correct
slows
your rhythm or whatever.
Yeah, which slows your heart down.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's some fucking space news.
They had him hooked up. It shows the brain scans, and it shows the pre-VNS like thing, and then the post, and it does look like synapses are firing. Like,
that's fucking crazy. That is, even that,
so
like
15 years.
It's less as exciting because I was hoping he's like guys fucking up, walking, talking, all that. But still, it's
a start.
Cool.
It's a start, right?
Totally.
But you don't know what it is. Like, but how scary would that be if all of a sudden, like in your brain, you were just like, oh, where am I? And then blackness again, right? And they're like, every time they switch this thing on, you're like,
I'm really interested to see if he does come back fully conscious, what his like tales of the afterlife might be.
Wait a sec. Like, so you're saying this guy's been in coma for 15 fucking years?
15 years.
Who's fucking keeping this guy alive for 15? That doesn't make any sense.
That's crazy.
He's not in a coma. He's in a vegetative state. I don't know what that means.
So,
but a vegetative state.
His body, his mind's dead, pretty much.
Yeah, but even for that, to keep them like, so what do they got feeding tubes in him? But is he breathing on his own, or do they have he's on a ventilator?
Well, it doesn't say his background, but there's parents who have kids who like are like born vegetables and they keep alive and stuff. Right?
No, you're thinking like, no, they're just like being handicapped.
Well, look at Mr. Conspiracy. He's a vegetable. How old is he?
He somehow functions.
That's true.
No, vegetative state's like nothing.
Yeah,
You're not. You're
brain
nothing.
okay, so from what I think, what I'm pretty sure is vegetative is being brain dead.
Yeah, like you're.
So you're still breathing on your own and all that stuff. Like your body's still functioning, but your mind is not controlling your body. You're just brain dead.
Like your conscious. You have no consciousness.
Yeah, exactly.
Your body's alive, but your mind is.
Yeah,
she gone.
She gone.
But anyways, it's a start, right? It's a start to bringing people back. But could you imagine we get the technology to bring people out of vegetative states? And like all the people that are like, wow, we have to pull the plug. I don't want them to live like this. It'd be kind of fucking, yeah.
It'd be pretty fucking amazing, but
It'd be great.
Should have held out a little bit.
yeah.
Okay, I got some space news.
Space news.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's pretty sweet. They are planning a lunar base.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's an article in our local paper here about Canada's building new Canada Arms for the the lunar base, which is international conglomerate of space agencies. And after 2024 is the ISS, I guess it's supposed to that's the end of it. And their next thing, there's going to be it's like, I guess it's a base halfway between the moon and Earth. It's like a weird orbiting base that they're gonna have by 2030, I guess.
Cool.
And Canada's contribution is, again, the robot arms. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's being headed by Russia and the States working together, which is kind of cool because you always hear they're in such bad relations, but not their space programs.
Bad relations are only the military-industrial complex who wants the war. I bet you both countries they want their little bit of wars here and there to make the money for the guns. But everybody else, like all scientific and everything else, is like it's pretty international. Like everyone's just like, what the fuck?
I wonder if the Russians got Winter Soldier's arm from the Canadians. Right?
Oh,
Well, think about it, right? Because think about Weapon X, right? What Winter Soldier's arm is fucking adamantium, right? We have the adamantium because we put in Wolverine.
Are you saying that the Winter Soldier has a Canada arm?
I'm assuming he does. Well, think about it, right? It's not that far fetched, right?
Is it?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Canada seems to be pretty good at making robot arms.
Is his arm? What I want to know though, we need Dan or maybe Google. I'm pretty sure his arm's actually adamantium and vibranium, just like Captain America's shield. Though I don't think it's just all adamantium.
You guys are talking stuff I have no idea about.
Do you know, Braden?
Well, in the movie, I'm thinking movie verse. He grabs a shield. Let me look it up real quick.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a mix of because I'm pretty sure it's the same shit that's.
Does he use it to kill JFK?
He uses it to kill Howard Stark.
That's true.
Ooh, right? There you
Similarities?
go. I don't know.
Similarities?
How about the similarities between JFK's murder and the murder of Franz Ferdinand? Did you read any of that?
I did not.
Do you know who Franz Ferdinand is?
Yeah, it was guy.
Yeah, he's
the Archduke
from World War One.
Right?
Yeah.
That what's his name? Gavrilo Principe or whatever. The guy that killed him.
Gavrilo Principe or whatever. Yeah.
Principe or Principe. It's fucking crazy.
I didn't read that connection. But Braden, you want to do a UFO case of the week?
Fuck yes, I do. UFO case file of the week. I'm gonna pop it in the randomatron right now, and I'm gonna turn it on right now.
And stop.
Okay. Wow, that thing works so good every time now.
You're getting good at it. It's insane.
I'm still so confused. I don't know what's happening right now.
This is.
You didn't hear the machine?
Is it so good that it's just so quiet that I don't fucking hear it? Like,
For some reason, you cannot comprehend how this machine works.
Are you guys like, or does this just not exist? I'm so confused. I don't get it.
That's the best part. You have no fucking idea how this machine works.
No
it's
clue.
like it. Only people with imagination can hear it.
Like what?
Like it.
Clown.
It's like Pennywise. Like
Did
children with imagination.
Did you see the new? Did you see the new It?
That was fucking terrifying.
Was it terrifying?
Yeah.
No.
Scared the shit out of me.
No, like that serves you fucking right. I remember watching that movie as a kid, and it fucking wrecked me for like 6 years.
It was on a fucking a 2-part VHS.
Yeah,
I'll
never fucking. Nah, I'm good. I didn't even make it to the. I don't even know what happens on the second VHS because I was so fucked up in the first one.
I'm due for a rewatch probably, but
Like the original or the new one?
both. Anyways,
I might go see the new one with you as long as you're okay with me holding your hand in the scary parts.
it's all good.
Okay, cool.
Okay, UFO case of the week. What you got? What spit out?
La Rochelle, Africa.
Is that her real name?
That's a real name. La Rochelle is part of the Nybara Forest Training School and is a tourist attraction. The estate used to belong to the Courtauld family. At approximately 6:30 in the evening of the 15th of August, 1981.
Oh,
Clifford,
that's so close to my birthday. I was almost alive.
1981.
Clifford.
No, but August 15th is my birthday. And I was born in 87, so I got excited.
Yeah, so only 6 years from then.
Yeah, right? On the same day, though. It's special.
What a cool.
Whoa! It's special, Braden. Don't wreck it. Fuck. Okay, continue.
Clifford Mushina saw a ball of light near the tea room on the estate. A sighting which was corroborated by others. It reached the estate's observation tower and seemed to roll up and into the room at the top. Although it gave the appearance of setting fire to the tower, it later left the building and rolled back down toward ground level, leaving no searing or burn marks where it had been. Apparently, it was not hot, nor did it contain heat within itself. The ball of light moved across the lawn and into the Fantasy Building, which was an orchard house once used by Lady Courtauld. Again, it looked as if the building was filled with flames. Though subsequent investigations showed no such damage. Clifford stopped ringing the fire bell and went across the building. It was at this time that he saw 3 men standing on the lawn. At first, he believed they were the estate's wardens, including Mr. Andrew O'Connell. And indeed, Clifford called out Mr. O'Connor's name. However, the entities turned around very slowly. They were wearing shiny silver coveralls. And there was a bright light shining from them, which blinded Clifford. He fell to his knees, possibly from the fear, or possibly because some sound emanated from the entities. He stated, "There's a power coming from them! There's a power coming from them!"
It's the power of dance.
He said that.
Is that real?
Yeah, he fell to his knees. Well, the song just started playing. I don't know where that came from, but that's okay. This is, and I quote: he fell to his knees, possibly from fear, or possibly because of some sound emanating from the entities. He stated, "There's a power coming from them!" Exclamation mark. There's a power coming from them! Exclamation mark.
What kind of power?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a power dance.
Just power.
As we know about the silver shiny suits, they were probably rocking it out to Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
Anyways,
cutting some rug.
I'm
going to take this story with a grain of salt, though, because fucking, first of all, who the fuck has a fantasy room? You know there's something fucking off with those people.
Yeah.
Now, when they say fancy room, are we talking like fucking whips and swings and shit?
Full fucking Grey's Anatomy, or not Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
What the fucking thing called?
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy. That's
the classic Grey's Anatomy.
No, what the fuck am I trying to say?
50 Shades of Grey.
There you go. I knew it was something gray. Fuck.
Other witnesses on the estate saw the ball of light and also the men. It was considered by Clifford that they might be ghosts of his ancestors.
Oh.
An alternative interpretation to extraterrestrials, and not necessarily a realistic one. I don't know what the fuck that sentence means.
Nope.
When asked why they were wearing silver suits and not the furs and skins that his ancestors would probably have worn, Clifford said, yes. But times are changing.
Haven't you seen the fucking Puff Daddy and Mace music video? They're fucking wearing those shiny suits. It's in.
Yeah. It is not clear whether either men or the ball of light left, though one of the witnesses thought that the men had disappeared first and the light afterwards. Whether there is any connection between the two sightings is unclear, but certainly something strange was happening on the estate, and it would be remarkable if two such extraordinary events were independent of one another. So that's the case file of La Rochelle.
So the theme of silver-suited dancing ETs continues.
Fucking right.
Yeah.
What's the connection here?
Herbie Hancock. What does he have to do with this?
Good
That's
question.
what I want to know.
Well, where's Herbie Hancock from? He's a robot. He could came from space.
Let's get him on the pod.
Yeah. Oh,
Shit.
that'd be fucking cool.
He only has that one song. Is he still making millions off it, you think?
No, he's probably got He's only got one song.
I don't know. I'm just saying that's the only one. That's the one everyone remembers, probably.
Only one I.
No, I'm pretty sure he's got more than that song.
Okay. I'm sure he does. Or it could be a one-hit wonder.
Maybe.
A lot of people are.
Yeah, that's true. He's a robot. I expect more though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways, that wasn't bad.
That was good.
Anytime silver suit aliens pop up, it's always a win.
Fucking right.
I'm gonna. Anytime there's a silver suit alien one come up, I don't know where. As soon as I say silver suit, Herbie Hancock just pops on.
Every
buddy,
time.
It's the exact same thing that happened to me last podcast. It's all I could think of was fucking. Ugh. I'm so thankful that you knew the song I was trying to sing because I was butchering it.
And hopefully we use just enough that we don't get in trouble.
Yeah, well, we're fine. Someone rats
Come
us
on,
out.
Herbie, be a guy.
Okay.
Help us out.
The task at hand.
Yeah.
As you heard at the start of the very start of the podcast, Andrew spit a very, very well articulated summary
With a few marbles falling out of my mouth.
marbles
Here and
of the JFK events. So, want to give us just a couple of quick points, and then let's get to the topic at hand. Start theorizing.
there. Okay, so November 22nd, 1963, at the Dealey Plaza, Dallas, Texas. 35th President of the United States.
Bam, bam, bam.
Shot 3 times.
Or bam.
Shot twice, sorry. 3 shots were fired.
Or was it 4?
Well, maybe 4. I don't know. Good question. I don't know. He was shot, killed, and they took Lee Harvey Oswald in for custody. Yeah.
And that was it.
That
and then he died.
Case closed. Story's over.
He died 2 days later.
That's it. Yeah, he died 2 days
Well,
later.
He was murdered 2 days later.
He was murdered by Jack Ruby?
Jack Ruby.
Jack Ruby, nightclub owner.
Nightclub
Jack
owner.
Ruby. Yeah, he owned a nightclub.
They either did or did not know each other, depending on who you talk to.
Potentially, I don't know.
Anyways,
So-
it's one of the most famous conspiracies of all time. Still talked about 50 years later.
Yeah, well, I can see why. Like going down in this rabbit hole, man, I got lost.
There's a lot of
see me
shit.
with, I'm disheveled.
A lot of shit
I
going
didn't see
on.
the sunlight for fucking few days. I was like digging.
I was gonna say you do look.
I look
a
like
little,
shit.
You look a little whiter.
No, I look like shit. Oh, I look a little bit white.
You're almost on my level here.
Well, the sun's going away too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Well, it's absolutely insane. Like, it's insane that a president of the United States got assassinated, and there's still like real and like tangible questions of what the fuck happened. Like, doesn't make any sense.
Is this too cut and dry how it was ended? It was just like, oh, shot him, we got him, he's dead, it's over, no more questions.
Yeah, but the only real tangible evidence was presented in that file. You know what I mean? Everything else is pretty much just speculation.
It's speculation because he was killed. Imagine this went to trial and you open up a whole new can.
This is true.
So, anyways,
So
want to just do it. If you haven't never looked into JFK like assassination, I mean, something's wrong with you. But
Yeah, figure it out.
do we want to get into right away what we think happened, or
no, let's go through the events.
Okay. So where's Dan? Where's Dan when
where's
you need
Dan?
him, eh? About 12:30, President John F. Kennedy, Jackie Kennedy, and I think the senator of Texas,
Connolly.
Yeah, I thought it was Governor Connolly.
Governor Colony. I think. Yeah.
Governor
Connolly.
Connolly.
Connolly, yeah.
They were riding in the motorcade in Dealey Plaza.
Dealey
Yep.
Plaza, I think is what.
Yeah.
Dealey Plaza, yeah, and and apparently Lee Harvey Oswald took a shot at them
Blast him.
and killed them.
Potentially 3. They say that he potentially took 3 shots.
Well, he did.
in the actual in the was it the Warren Commission? Was that what it was?
Yeah, Warren Commission.
In the Warren
Yeah.
Commission, there in his report, there was 3 shots fired. He says first one missed, second one
Through the neck.
Through right around like I'd say it's C6, like cervical spine, so base of his neck. I'm talking about Kennedy. Went in through Kennedy's, the base of his neck, and out where his manubrium is. So like right where if you have an Adam's apple, feel it. Came out right where his Adam's apple is. Ugh. Then struck Governor Colony. Governor
Colony.
Okay.
Governor
Cannoli.
Oh, fuck off. Struck the dude in front of him. Went in through his fucking top of his what would have been, it was his right shoulder, and then came out right underneath his nipple. I think it fractured. What was it like?
Hit his rib.
His
I don't remember what
third
number.
rib or his fourth rib.
I don't remember what number, but yeah, it shattered his
his ribs and went into his right hand. Okay, so that was the second shot. Third shot came in right. This is the death blow. This was he. You know what? He could have lived from that second shot. By the way.
Yeah, I
totally livable.
I'm sure he could.
Third shot came in right through his occipital lobe. So you know, like right where you fill up your neck and right where your head starts to protrude. You're right there, that big stick out part there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your occipital lobe came in right through his occipital lobe, fragmented, and blew the top right off his fucking cranium. The right side just.
So that bullet fragmented.
Yes, it did.
But the other bullet went straight through.
Yeah. Well, see,
same bullets.
Well,
supposedly.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
So basically, after the assassination happened, the government charged the Warren Commission to investigate and look over the footage of the assassination to determine what had happened. Because now the killer who had been charged was dead. So basically, everyone involved is dead.
So let's just backtrack a little bit.
Backtrack to where they apprehend.
So boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Kennedy gets shot. Mm-hmm. The motorcade speeds away.
Yes.
Later that day, they get reports of a policeman shot and killed.
Yes.
Then also get reports that this is part of the conspiracy that I struggle with.
Okay.
They find Lee Harvey Oswald in a movie theater.
Yeah. And you want to know, how they found him, right?
Because someone didn't buy a movie ticket.
He didn't buy a fucking movie ticket.
Here, okay, we're just going to start with a little conspiracy right
fucking
here,
dummy.
right away. So you shoot the president.
Yeah.
Let's go with the official story. You blast the president.
Yeah, you blew him away.
You conveniently
And
leave
hold on.
Okay, sorry, go. What do you want?
Not only are you blasting the president, but you're studying the route, you're planning buildings, where you're going to shoot from. You're looking up the time. You're fucking hoping he's in a convertible. A lot of planning went into this, not just shooting him.
Well, and he worked at that Texas book depositor
for 5 weeks before. He was working there as a seasonal full-time employee.
Oh yeah, so he knew.
So this is the official story.
He knew that building well.
So he knew.
Yeah.
So let's say you blast the president.
Mm-hmm.
You conveniently leave your bullets on the ground. Mm-hmm. You walk to the other corner of the building. You place your gun in behind some boxes.
Yep.
You leave the building.
Yep. So this is 12:30. So he hasn't even finished his shift yet, and everybody's still working in this fucking building as his time's going. It just dips out during the day.
You go to the movie theater. You sneak in.
Mm-hmm.
And then they call the cops, and 15 police cruisers come to the movie theater for a guy with no movie ticket.
They fucking swarm the place.
But that's the first thing right there. Like, at this point, they didn't know Lee Harvey Oswald was in the movie theater. They had no idea. They called the cops because there was a guy went in there with no ticket.
So
what if? Okay, so
we've worked in the movie theaters. We've all worked in the movie theater. What happens when a guy doesn't have a ticket? You fucking kick him out.
Not only I don't give a fuck.
You say the only way you'd call the cops if he started threatening, because even if he was like, "Well, I'm not fucking leaving," I'd be like, "Okay, you watch the movie. Don't hurt me."
I know it's fucking I know it's far fetched to think that everybody would just show up for that, but you got to think too. At this time, everybody's on fucking edge. Everybody's high strung, and fucking who knows? Maybe the air's quiet. Maybe no calls are coming in. And this is the first fucking call they get, and they're like, I don't know, man, let's fucking go.
I find it highly suspect on a fucking day. Now everyone's high alert. You're at the fucking station right now. Someone calls like, we got a guy here, he didn't buy a ticket, he's in the movie theater.
Maybe they said a quick description of him. Maybe it's a fucking guy, you know, this tall, white dude, just fucking shitty haircut. You never know.
But at this point, they don't know who they're looking for.
They don't know who they're looking for at this point.
Yes, they do. People saw him in the fucking window.
They didn't see him.
Yes, they did.
How could someone from the bottom floor look at the 6th floor and see a rifle scope and be like, that guy's 5'6", 160 pounds. His name's Lee Harvey Oswald.
They had a general description of him. At this time, they had a general description of him. That's why he fucking dips out of work, hops on a bus gets stopped, bus gets stopped, and he dips off the fucking bus, right? And then as he's walking to this fucking movie theater, that's when he runs into the cop. The cop approaches him because he fucking...
No, the cop... This is what happened. The cop called him over to his window.
Yeah, he called him over to him because he looks like the fucking suspect.
And then he shot him.
Yeah, so he shot him. Yeah, so if no one knows what you fucking look like, right? So here's my thought. If no one knows what you look like and a cop calls you over to your window, you'd be like, hey, man, what's up? Yeah, just walking. Okay, have a good day. See you later. Bye. Why would the cop call him over, and why would he shoot him if he had no idea? If he didn't suspect that he was a killer?
No, they knew who they were looking for.
Exactly.
Too quickly. That's why I think.
Yeah.
Anyways, we keep going. So he gets arrested. 2 days later, he gets shot in just outside the police station.
Yeah, on live TV.
Guy walks up, fucking blasts him in the chest. He's dead. Case closed.
Why did he kill him?
Why did he kill him?
Well, he says because he wanted to spare Jackie the grief of going through trial, and he wanted to make up for Texas. You know, he thought he owed it to Texas because having this douchebag shoot the president kind of made them look bad.
So say that again.
I don't even notice it. Okay, so first of all, he says he did it for Jackie because he wanted to save her the grief of having to go through trial. That was his first excuse. And the second excuse was to make it up to Texas because he didn't want somebody from Texas to be the person that killed the president.
Right.
Yeah.
And the commission report, the warrant commission says that they didn't know each other, that it was a random act.
They had no idea
that there was a random act. Yeah. So there you go. That was back then. That was the case. Like, oh, we found him. He had a revolver on him. Shot the cop. We know he worked there. He wasn't the only one there. The case closed. Boom.
Yeah,
it's over.
Done. Finito.
That's it. No one asked any more questions. The case was over. Lyndon Johnson became president the next
OBJ.
day. And the first meeting Lyndon Johnson took was for the situation in Vietnam.
Let's go to war, baby.
Let's go to war, baby.
Hayes.
Mr. Kennedy wanted no war. He didn't want war with Russia. He didn't want war with Vietnam. He didn't want nuclear missiles. He didn't want this. He wanted to end the Federal Reserve.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? On that point, we have a clip. I don't know if you ever heard it before. I'm going to stick it in. I'm going to stick it in right here. It's if you type in on Google, the speech that got JFK killed. This is where you're starting to get into a little conspiracy. We're going to play. We'll play a little bit of that clip right now, and then we'll come back.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed. No president should fear public scrutiny of his program, for from that scrutiny comes understanding, and from that understanding comes support or opposition, and both are necessary. I am not asking your newspapers to support an administration, but I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people. For I have complete confidence in the response and dedication of our citizens whenever they are fully informed. I not only could not stifle controversy among your readers, I welcome it. This administration intends to be candid about its errors. For as a wise man once said, an error doesn't become a mistake until you refuse to correct it. We intend to accept full responsibility for our errors, and we expect you to point them out when we miss them. Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed, and no republic can survive.
All right, so we just played a little bit of that clip there. It's weird.
Yeah,
it's a weird speech for like a country leader to give.
Do you I don't know, man, especially after watching this, other than, for me anyways, other than Obama, I haven't enjoyed a president's speeches as much as I've enjoyed listening to his. They're captivating, man. He's you can understand easily why he got voted in.
Oh, for sure. But I'm saying just the message of his speech,
it's
we are
weird.
opposed to
Scriptic.
Opposed to secret societies.
Yeah. Awesome.
The word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. You're like, well, yeah. And what's he talking about? He's like, there's fucking people infiltrated on every level of government, right? Pretty much. That's pretty much what he's saying. He's pretty much naming the military-industrial complex as taking over the United States. Is what he's saying.
Yeah.
5 months before his death, that's what that speech was.
Crazy.
And in that time too, but between then and his death, he also signed into that Executive Order 100111 or whatever, pretty much saying that he wanted to make something called United States Notes, which was a silver reserve currency, and he wanted to end the Federal Reserve's ability to print money and sell money to the government on interest out of nothing. He wanted to stop it. So that's why that speech is called the speech that got him killed, because it's pretty much naming a secret cabal of military industrial, the military industrial complex with it's all connected. That's what he's pretty much saying. The New World Order. Pretty much. These guys.
Why he's dead.
His why he's dead. That's why.
100%.
It
was fucking Disney. I know it. I know it. Or Mugatu, either or.
Right,
or Mugatu.
Right here, let's go to... I want to get onto it quickly. That the first thing for me that pops through is you can watch the Zapruder film, I think it's called.
Zapruder film, yeah.
Zapruder
film. Watch that and I mean they knock it. I mean they knock it to death in JFK, the Oliver Stone movie. Yeah. But you watch that and you see his head go back and to the left. It doesn't make sense to me that a gunshot would throw your head back like that. You think it would would have thrown the momentum and everything forward for him.
Well, hold on. It doesn't make sense for a gunshot to be coming from behind, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
to have an entry wound, and so his skull, the back of his skull was exploded. It blew up.
Top-ish of his skull.
The top left of his skull exploded, pretty much. And they're saying the entry of that caused the bullet to fragment, and it came back and ricocheted out and exploded his head backwards.
Yeah. It came in right underneath the occipital lobe. It was a 6 millimeter entrance wound.
Yeah, so that's the official story, that it got shot in the back and it went through somehow, and that the first bullet that, or the second shot that went through Kennedy and shit, it went through Kennedy, it kind of turned, it went into Connolly, it went through his ribs and shit, got embedded into his fucking leg or whatever, and then they found it on the stretcher in the hospital. Perfectly intact. A perfect bullet.
Yes.
And then for some reason the head bullet fragmented and exploded, went in from the back, hit the skull, ricocheted around his fucking cranium, and came back out and exploded the back half. That's what the story is. And then when you look at it, coming from someone, I've shot a deer in the head before with a 30-30 rifle. It's not as powerful, but the front of the skull was a tiny little hole the size of the bullet, and the back of the head was blown off. Well, it was gone.
To even put it in better context, I've seen people who've blown their heads off.
So the exit wound is always the big one.
Always bigger. Always.
And so they're arguing.
Actually, no, that's not true, because I did one where this person shot himself in the head with a 22, and that thing just fucking ping ponged.
Bounced. But
that never came back out, though.
No, it never did.
Right?
No,
because it's not strong enough to pierce the bone.
Yeah.
So right there, you're like, well, how if the bullet comes from behind on a high-powered rifle? That skull's not going to stop that bullet. It's going to go right through.
What if it's a fragmented bullet?
That's what I mean. So either he had the gun he used. What was the gun? What was the gun supposedly that they found?
It's a Corona or something. Corona.
I didn't fucking write it down. I forgot. Carcona.
Carcona. There you
go. What was it? Carcona something. It was Italian high power rifle.
But just to play devil's advocate here. So the first shot that went in through his neck, right, and into what's his name's to Connolly's back. That one went through like meaty areas. It didn't hit any bone or anything.
It did hit the rib, and it hit his arm, and it hit his leg. At
the end, with all the momentum. You know what I mean? Like this one came in, hit bone, and then hit more bone right away.
So I mean, no. Bullets go through fucking 4 human skulls if you shot them in a row.
Wow.
High powered rifle like that.
I'm not talking about. What are you relating this to Indiana Jones? That's not right.
No, I'm just
when Indiana Jones shoots 6 Nazis with the Luger and it goes through all. It's not. No, it doesn't happen.
No, that's not. No, that's not a high powered rifle.
That's true.
I'm saying if you line up, I guarantee if you line up fucking 3 or 4 human skulls, you shoot a high powered rifle, it's just gonna explode. At least explode the first one right through. Probably the second one too.
Especially with the type of bullet that they found, right? The Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, so
that they found up. The shells that they found up at the fucking...
Yes, I'm going to go back
Texas
to it right now.
So
that gun was only made to shoot Full Metal Jackets, which was the bullet that they found embedded in Connolly, right? Or in the fucking bed.
Yeah.
So for that second bullet to fragment like that, now you're talking... I can't remember what the bullet's called, like some type of hollow point. They're illegal in all military conflict because they do devastating damage just like that. So for him to just... The first bullet that hits is a Full Metal Jacket, and that one is not. That one fragments.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird. So that's like that's where the conspiracy starts rolling. You're like, okay, well, how? Like, how did it blow backwards? And then if you watch a Zapruder film, it does look like back and to the left, and that's where that famous line goes, back and to the left. Even though in the first video they said like his head went violently forward, but if you watch the video, it does not go violently forward. It might go forward for just like, if you really slow it down, I've watched a couple different videos of it, it might go forward 0.5 centimeter and then it just falls to the side.
Yeah, it looks like he's kind of like leaning over onto Jackie's shoulder a little bit, right?
Right. So like if the testimony, I can't remember who the testimony was. There's way too many names in this case to remember them all, so you got to look it up. But the guy says on video record, he says his head went violently forward. Violently forward, imagine me like smashing someone in the back of the head with a baseball bat and then them flying forward. That's what I picture violently forward as.
Yarborough that said that.
Yarborough?
Yeah, whatever the fuck, something Yarborough. He's like a governor or something.
And the other thing is, so they're saying this what if it's called the Carcano something. Liquor Calcano 6.65 or whatever.
Yes, 6.65 millimeter.
The fucking Deputy Constable Weitzman signed an affidavit that the gun he recovered was a 7.65 bolt action Mauser. And that's a good rifle. He signed an affidavit saying it wasn't even the same gun that they then claimed that it was.
Yeah, I
He's
definitely.
saying no, we didn't. I didn't get it. I didn't see an Italian gun. I grabbed a 7.65 bolt action Mauser rifle.
And that's where that's like a lot of conspiracy spawn off that too. Because I reading up to this, I listened to Jesse Ventura's 60 Reasons Why They Killed Our President or whatever, and he pretty much they said that too. Like, okay, there's conflicting reports of the type of rifle found, and there's a lot of conflicting reports of a lot of things found. The first autopsy report. Fuck, I wrote it down. What's that guy's fucking name?
Hughes, Dr. Hughes.
No, Robert McLennan was he was called in to help with the fucking tracheotomy or whatever when he first got there. So he was holding the back of the head, and he was like, exit wound on the back of the head is the first thing he said, and he wrote down.
Yeah.
So like, okay, exit wound on the back of the head can only, you can't, right? It's just, so there's conflicting reports. And so when the JFK was shot, he was taken to the hospital. His Secret Service forcibly removed his body from that hospital and took it upon themselves to get the autopsy.
So it's law to do the autopsy.
It
was in the spot that the body's found.
That's what it was. Yeah, back then for sure.
That was what the rule was. But the Secret Service and Jackie refused to let them do the autopsy in Texas. She's like, no, we're going back to Washington.
And you had a good reason why you think they did that.
Well, I got for me, it's what makes sense to me.
It's a cover up on a different way.
Yeah, it was Jackie covering up the fact that
her husband's a playboy.
Well, he was riddled with gonorrhea, right? He was riddled with gonorrhea. There was a lot of speculation when he was running for president that he was sick, and he had Addison's disease, and they refuted all that, right? And he ended up getting elected, and he in fact later showed to have Addison's disease.
What is Addison's disease?
It's an adrenal disease.
Some gland
so basically, his adrenal glands just don't work anymore. But so he had Addison's disease, and I guess he was addicted to painkillers because he had a debilitating back injury that he got from when he was in the army. But
because he wore like that weird back brace and shit,
yeah,
right?
which nobody knew about until after the fact,
yeah,
right? And she didn't want any of this stuff to get out, and that's part of the reason why they refused. Also, you know what I mean? They're fucking grieving. Like, everybody's grieving. All those people that are close with him, that's her fucking husband. You know what I mean? I can understand.
I can understand, but it makes sense, but it shouldn't have happened.
No, it was against the law.
Right?
That right there is the first real fucking conspiracy in this whole thing.
Well,
that's real. That's proven. That's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
We have proof that they broke the fucking law.
For sure.
We have proof of that.
They did. 100%.
Yeah. And so getting back to the 3 bullet thing, the Warren Commission, if they're to be believed, and 3 shots were fired from this Mannlicher Carcano rifle. One of the bullets.
You're fucking butchering that every time. Jesus.
Carcano? Mannlicher?
Just call it the Carcano.
Carcano for short.
Yeah.
One of those 3 bullets would have passed through President Kennedy's. Yeah, this is the Warren Commission.
What?
Listen, the Warren Commission. Listen, shut up for a second. I lost my train of thought for a second.
Jesus Christ.
Warren Commission Exhibit 399 says 1 bullet caused all the wounds to the governor and all the non-fatal wounds to the president, which is 7 entry and exit wounds in total for one of the 3 bullets. So according to this, one of these bullets traversed 15 layers of clothing, 7 layers of skin, and 15 inches of tissue, struck a necktie knot, removed 4 inches of rib, and shattered a radius bone on 2 different people.
On a high caliber rifle that's shooting Full Metal Jacket, I can believe that.
Yeah, so like the magic bullet theory is what they call it, right?
Yeah.
So what I read is, so the conspiracy is because he said it was right in front of him in the car.
Yeah.
And if he's right in front of him from that angle, they're saying like there's no way that bullet could go in, change direction, hit him in the back, come through his arm, through his shoulder, through his arm into his leg. They say it can't happen.
Yeah, but he wasn't directly right in front of him.
Well, in the actual, I read the autopsy report. It does say in the autopsy report directly in front.
Yeah, but that was a mistake because Kennedy and Jackie were sitting on a bench seat, and he was
over 6 inches is what they determined. So he's over 6 inches to the right. So they're saying the official report is the way the angle was, that bullet could like, and I agree that it could easily go through Kennedy, through his
it's just going
shoulder,
through
through his
tissue.
rib, through his arm, and into his leg. And I can get on board with that part, maybe. But that doesn't account for the fact that some people heard more than 3 shots. It doesn't account for the fact that one bullet was full metal and one bullet fragmented on entry.
That's where it gets me. That's
It doesn't take into the fact that when you watch the video, which wasn't released for 10 years after he died. 10 years.
fucking nuts.
They had the video. The FBI had the video. They bought it off, or they fucking, I can't remember who bought it off. They bought off Zapruder. And when Zapruder died,
How much does Zapruder make?
50 grand.
That's it?
And then ended up in the end giving him 3 payments of 25. So I think I actually got 75. But then when he died, they sold the video back to his family for $1. And after that happened, his family made a fortune off of it in the end.
Yeah,
Anyways, that doesn't go back. His head, when you watch, explodes. The back of his head explodes out. The police officer who was like to the back and left of the motorcat, or from the car driving, got splattered in blood. So from the direction behind, it doesn't make sense for the blood to spatter as it got shot from the front, which some people got shot maybe from the grassy knoll, some people say. The 4th shot.
Maybe.
And I know
there was reports of gunshot residue and people smelling gun smoke from the grassy knoll.
Sorry, we're getting beer here. Yeah, there's gun smoke. Supposedly there's one picture, and supposedly some lady took a picture right when that happened, and it's a very shitty picture, man. It's like fucking so blurry, but some people enhance the picture and they could swear they can see smoke and a guy holding a rifle on top of like the wall on top of the grassy knoll, and they're like, that's got to be it. It makes sense on the angle of entry from the front.
And there's reports of people witnessing a cop on a motorbike riding up there towards that too, right?
And there's footage. There's still missing footage of that lady they call the babushka lady, who was filming from the reverse angle, who would have been able to corroborate whether or not he was shot from the front or the back. And we've never seen that footage. Either she's never shown it to anyone, or she destroyed it, or they've never released it.
There's no way she would. Obviously, she's going to know how lucrative that would be.
Someone was probably there. If it's a conspiracy, someone was there watching. They're like, that person had a camera. She don't have that footage.
No,
she didn't have it after that
probably
day.
Fucking dead.
She probably did.
No, and 100% you'd be in shock and want to help me. You'd be like, I had my camera. I was filming. I got it on camera.
Yeah,
that's
and
like Zapruder did. Right away. He's like, I had this video, but because fucking Harvey was killed so fast and the case was over, he's like, oh, it's not really worth anything, really. So the FBI had it, and they never used it because like, oh, it's case closed. They never even fucking looked at it.
Crazy. Okay, should we get into some whodunit?
Whodunits?
Sure.
All right, so you want to go first, Ryan?
Well, I don't really know who done it. That's the problem.
Okay, well, I got a good theory of who done it.
Go for it.
I have a theory on like who might have organized it, maybe, but
okay, I have a theory of who organized it. Why was it done? What were the motives behind it? That's what we're getting into now.
Okay, well, okay, yeah, you start, and I'm gonna jump in.
Okay, well, this is the last one I started to fall down a rabbit hole, and it just I kept falling down and falling down. So I was like, oh, interesting. It was Lyndon B. Johnson,
OBJ,
Vice Pres,
LBJ, who organized the assassination with some help from others. I actually kind of think LBJ was the fall guy for the people who planned it. Like, he was the next patsy if it were to have gotten people figured out this far. But nevertheless, he knew of it and he was involved in it. His mistress, who he has an illegitimate son with, Madeline Duncan Brown, was with LBJ for 21 years, said that the day before Kennedy was assassinated, LBJ said to her, and quote, "After tomorrow, I won't have to deal with those Kennedy son of a bitches anymore."
Yeah, heard that.
Which on its face, they didn't like each other. So let's go back into the election. They were both running for president, and Kennedy won the approval of the people, and LBJ was just a senator from Texas, backed by a lot of big money oil men, and just couldn't make it happen. So I read that some people used leverage they had on J. Edgar Hoover because they had some blackmail on him because he was a closet homosexual. They had pictures of him doing sexual acts, which is with his then boyfriend or whatever, pressured him into obtaining some pictures and stuff of John F. Kennedy having one of his many affairs. And because the Kennedy people didn't want that released before the election, they threw LBJ as the vice president. Like, they put him on as vice. That was kind of the deal for the election. That's how, because these two guys hated each other publicly, like didn't like each other at all. Now Kennedy, this is where it started to get interesting for me. One of Kennedy's lesser policies that he wanted to obliterate is he wanted to get rid of the oil depletion allowance. And I had to look at what that is. And the oil depletion allowance is basically oil companies avoid taxes on their wealth. So this is a good little example. So an oil man drills a well that costs $100,000. He finds a reservoir that contains $10 million worth of oil. Okay. The well produces $1 million worth of oil every year for 10 years, equaling the 10 million. In the very first year, thanks to the oil depletion allowance, the oil man can deduct 27.5% or $275,000 of that $1 million in income from his taxable income. So basically, if he has $1 million in income, he can say he has $725,000.
Right.
That's taxed on. In 1 year, he's deducted nearly 3 times his initial investment. Right. So his initial costs were $100,000. So he's already made that back. So the depletion allowance continues to pay off for each of the next 9 years. He continues to take off $275,000 in depletion. By the end of the 10th year, the oil man has deducted $2.75 million from his taxable income, even though his initial investment was only $100,000. Right, so you can see how that's ridiculously, wildly unfair.
A little bit of money there.
So Kennedy wanted to get rid of that because he thought it was absolutely ridiculous.
Which it is. Fucking bullshit.
It's stupid. At the time it was, I think, 25% during Kennedy, and he wanted to abolish it. He wanted to get rid of it or lower it. Now, LBJ, when he was running his campaign and senator, he was backed by a wealthy oil family and a man known as George Bush Sr.
Hello.
Heyo.
I recognize that name.
Yes.
Now, George Bush Sr., obviously big oil, loves him some oil, was a backer of LBJ into his vice president and then later his presidential run. And through LBJ's president, while he was serving president, the oil depletion allowance was raised and was maintained at a 27.5% despite being wildly unpopular. And this is believed to have saved big oil over those 4 years $100 million in 1964. $100 million in 1964 is just under $1 billion today. That's what was saved for them. A lot of money. So now JFK also had some choice words about the CIA.
Yes, he did.
One of the things he said, where is it here? Let me pull it up. He said, if the United States ever experiences an attempt at a coup to overthrow the government, it will come from the CIA. The agency represents a tremendous power and total unaccountability to anyone. So while he was also trying to get rid of this oil depletion, he was also trying to make the CIA just gather intelligence. They were no longer allowed to propose or promote policies, and he was angry with their performance in Vietnam and Cuba, and he had openly talked about dissolving the CIA completely. Well, it's also a known fact that our good friend George Bush Sr., at the time in the 60s, was also a high-ranking CIA official.
Mm-hmm.
So not only did he have one hand in the cookie jar for the oil, he would also, because he was in the CIA as well. So I think this was backed by big oil. That's basically what I get down to. That's oil, my evidence.
Big industry.
Big industry to keep the profits and stuff going. And he also didn't want to go into war, and we all know the military complex is a big thing. So
yeah, that's what I was going to touch on, because he was totally against nuclear war. And at that time, if you go look it up, people actually went to Kennedy and were like, we have a proposal for a nuclear strike against Cuba and Russia. We realize that it could end in about 20 or 30 million Americans dying, but we really feel we can win this war. And he just like stood up, walked out of the meeting, and said like, and we call ourselves the human race. And pretty much shortly after that, he made that pact with I can't remember what his name was, a Russian guy about the Cuban Missile Crisis, because they had a bunch more ships going to Cuba. Russia did, and he made a pact, and the ships turned around, and that kind of thwarted like a nuclear, pretty much thwarted the end of the world, really.
Yeah.
So that part, he was totally against the war in Vietnam. He was totally against any type of military action against Cuba. And because he was working with the Russians, people were calling him like a commie bastard, and like fucking a lot of people just hated him, right? There's like, fuck that guy. Like, he's totally against America. He's like fucking Marxist. He's all this shit, right?
Yeah.
So right there, like, at this point, and now we played the speech about him talking about the military-industrial complex. About there's a power fucking growing in the United States and fucking abusing its power pretty much. So he's trying to expose them. He's trying to shut down the Federal Reserve. He's trying to install like silverback banknotes. He's against the wars. He's got a lot of people in the establishment super fucking mad because it's been that way since World War II. These people are making bank. I think I would not be surprised if this was a conspiracy, because let's go with Oswald. Say he's the lone shooter. He was in Russia, right? Was he exiled to Russia, or he went to Russia as
He chose to go to
Russia.
Defected to Russia.
So there's theories that he was actually some type of double agent. Blah blah blah. There's also theories that he had a body double, because sometimes they're like, in some reports I read that they're like, oh yeah, he's 5'10", 160, but then he was really only like 5'6", 135. So there was two different people. There was one where he was being trained in Russian in his Marine training, but he was really just a radar operator. So that seems a little bit weird, like a little bit of intelligence training.
Well, even his mom said he was like a government official, like he was working with the government.
Yeah, and then there's also reports of saying like he was pro-Cuban, right? Some people he liked them, so he like a lot. I've heard theories that were, yes, he was involved in maybe trying to plan some assassination, but what happened in the end is people he was working with, say there was a CIA, like rogue CIA agents or whoever the fuck was, the mob, whoever. They pretty much just set him up to be a patsy. They made him get that job. They're like, oh, scope this out. Maybe they told him that he's going to assassinate someone else, or they're going to assassinate someone else, and then it ends up being the president. He doesn't actually shoot the president, because there's reports. In Jesse Ventura's book, like it's actually really well done, even though he's so biased one way.
Yeah,
because like he goes and there's interviews with some of the staff in the building, and they time like the distance of how much you have to walk to, like, because they're like, oh yeah, before the shooting we seen him. He was drinking a Coke in the kitchen with the staff, and then 2 minutes later he was up in the northwest corner on the 6th floor and he shot the president, and then he was gone. So like, well, and then they tried. There's reenactments of them like running the stairs of the books depository there, and they're like, You can't do it in fucking. No way you could do it in 2 minutes. Get up there, set up your rifle, take 3 shots, go hide your rifle, run out of the building, and So that goes that way too. Oh, one thing we forgot to touch on. You're the sniper. Say you're Oswald.
Yeah.
Say you make it up to the window. You fucking get your scope out. The car comes around the corner. Yep. It's going away from you. Seems like, it's I can't remember how many feet it was away, but like it's not that far of a shot. But your very first shot completely misses.
Well,
by 20 feet.
When they confiscated the rifle, they showed how out of sight the rifle was.
There's no way
the scope was way out. So they're saying that the first shot he used the scope, and the next 2 shots he used the iron sights.
See, the problem is I actually don't know what the rifle looks like, but like a scope is usually centered straight on the rifle. So your iron sights are nulled, right? Like you either have iron sights or you put a scope on. Unless the scope was like side mounted.
I'm going to pull up a picture right now.
But even then, how could a scope be like when scopes are off, like you miss by, say if scope's really off, you miss by 6, 8, 10 inches, a foot. Also, 2 foot would be bad.
Yeah, but let's
2 foot would be really
let's
bad.
also take in fucking the fact that you're murdering someone and your hands might not be as fucking steady as they could possibly be. Like, think about all the adrenaline that's going through this guy's fucking hand.
Okay,
I know, but if you go back to the, I can't remember what her name was, but if you look it up or if you read Jesse Ventura's book, he says like the girl who saw him with a Coke 2 minutes before the shooting said he was calm as fuck. Did not like someone who's going to murder.
Yeah, but still, you could be.
No.
You're nice and calm until you're actually got a gun in your hands, being like, okay, I'm actually fucking killing somebody.
Okay, sir, let's go with that. Yeah, you're super nervous. Your first shot misses by 20 feet, and then your next 2 are fucking bang, bang, perfect.
Wow.
No, your first shot as a sniper, and he was not.
The second shot was perfect. The third shot, by all means, was not that good of a shot because it could have missed by I don't know how much. Like, as a sniper, you're going for center fucking mass, right? Like he barely fucking hit with that.
I know,
shot.
and so that's what they tell us. He was a marksman. He was not a good shot. He was not an expert marksman. He was no high class fucking thing.
Yeah, he was a fucking decorated fucking.
No, he wasn't. He was
Marine.
not. No, he was not. He was a radar operator. He was not a fucking.
He was a Marine.
He was not a sniper. And the people they brought.
And you yourself said it wasn't that hard of a shot.
That's what I mean. How do you miss the first one?
Wow. He's not decorated. You said so.
Hold on, I'm looking at
a sniper.
I'm looking at the picture of the rifle. I'm looking at the picture of the rifle, and I'm telling you right now, if that scope is way out, not only is it pretty low to the gun, but it's got the attachment piece from the rifle to the scope is a solid piece. It's not even dashed. That you wouldn't be able to use the iron sights at all with this scope on.
Is that the fucking Mauser or is that the Carcona?
Well, that's the gun the official gun that they said. If it's a Mauser,
then it's a big conspiracy.
Well,
like if
is it the Mauser or is it the Carcona? Which fucking gun did he use?
The gun that they said he used.
Yeah,
the Carcona.
And then let's stay the shots.
But hold on, you said something, Zelly. Someone saw him and then he ran up. That's the theory?
The theory is he was there drinking a Coke in the staff room and people seen him. And 2 minutes later, he was upstairs, shot the guy, and they didn't see him again. So he was the only one missing from the building.
What's so frustrating about this is because I don't know how I don't know how much fucking time researching this, and I've never even heard that part of it. It's like fucking so subjective to everybody that has their takes on this fucking theory has omitted certain things to make it look a certain way. And you know what I mean? It's so fucking biased.
Take out all of that. 3 shots in 6 or 7.5 seconds, depending who you talk to. No other person to this day has been able to replicate those shots at that distance in that short amount of time. It hasn't happened yet.
Yes, it has. They did it live on CBC, or not CBC. It was CNN, and Howard Donahue did it.
He missed the first shot.
He's the only person that was able to get he got those shots off in 5-point-something seconds.
Did he hit targets though?
Yeah, hit it twice.
And he was super sniper.
Yeah,
he was a military sniper.
I have a whole theory on. He after doing that went down the fucking rabbit hole hard, and he fucking has his own theories about it now.
Okay,
because his huge thing.
There's a lot of people who did it. A lot of snipers who did it, and they couldn't do it.
Yeah, they gathered I don't know how many people to try out to do it. All expert marksmen, and they
also only one guy did it.
Yeah, Howard Donahue.
So this one non-marksman radio operator could do it, and 1 out of 100 snipers could do it.
Who knows?
In that short amount of time. And your first shot, the one you steady and you like the one shot that's going to be your kill shot, you miss. Snipers usually only get one shot in military conflict, right? You sit there for an hour or two waiting for your target.
Yeah, but you had a nice little slow motorcade just motoring, nice and slow.
Man, and here's the other thing: that on that motorcade, they made 2 unplanned stops directed by the president. On that route, they made 2 unplanned stops. So for them to say that he was working alone is absolutely ridiculous. Because even if he was seen in the coke room, someone would have had someone could corroborate that they saw him. They would have had to someone would have had to let him know that they're coming now.
When was this coke room sighting even given? Like, I'm assuming it wasn't given on the fucking day that it happened. Right? Like, as time goes, how good are these witnesses' testimonies?
Yeah, they're
fucking far.
It's true.
You know what I mean? Like, everybody wants to be fucking part of it. What are you talking about? I saw him fucking 5 minutes before. Only testimonies that are fucking worth even looking at and valid in this fucking case are the ones that happen immediately as the fucking event happened.
Did they do anything immediately?
Yeah, well, that's what they had. Tons of people. That's what they. As soon as it happened, they had fucking officers on the streets walking around, being like, "What did you see? This and that." They do that with all those type of events.
Yeah, I don't know. What happened here is there's too many unanswered questions, so theories run rampant.
You know what else is cool though is how you were talking about his ties and how he wanted to abolish. You know, and his knowledge about
Shit.
you know. What was that?
That was my phone.
Oh, I threw it off my game. Okay, anyways, I got something that's kind of cool. Let me find this.
All right, let's
I'm
hear
surprised.
your theories.
I'm not going to give you any theories. I'm just going to talk about this real quick, which I thought was pretty cool. It's probably a bunch of bullshit, but so before he was elected, as everybody knows, he was in naval intelligence, and he was working right around the same time that the Roswell crash took place. And James Forrestal, who was the Secretary of Defense at the same time, wanted Kennedy to work with him, like hand in hand, and he gave him like unprecedented access to the classified information on the crash. And it was one of his things is when he got elected, he wanted to abolish the Federal Reserve, and he wanted to make all the information on Roswell public.
Ooh,
Right?
I like that.
Cue the fucking Herbie Hancock music. What happened, bro?
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun, dun, dun, dun,
dun, dun, dun, dun, dun.
dun, dun, dun.
What else we got for JFK?
Zell, you got one, or do you want me to try and go through my chicken scratch and come up with something?
Well, I always like to go with the acoustic evidence. So the acoustic evidence was done. So it was a committee on assassinations. From public pressure, they did an analysis, and I guess there was some audio recordings from like a police cruiser or something, and they detected that there was 4 shots initially. And like, oh shit, I think there was actually 4 shots. And then it went back and forth, and the FBI came in and were like, nah, it was only 3. And it was only 3 again. But then Connolly's on the record supposedly saying that no, he like to his death, he swore that there was 4 shots. So we're like, okay, there's another one. Like, was it 3? Was it 4? So actually, the Committee on Assassinations even said like it's very true that it could have been a conspiracy and there could have been multiple shooters. They actually said that.
Well, yeah, because Connolly swears that
The first shot came to the left.
yeah, and it didn't hit anything. The first shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you've watched the video. At first, he does a quick turn to the left, and then boom, and half a second later, he quickly turns to the right, and that's the shot where you fucking see the
Where
bolt
he's
go
hit.
boom.
And,
Yeah.
and he says, like, he openly says, you can watch the interview, that they're choosing not to like write what I say. Like, they chose not to fucking to say that that first shot missed me and I saw it by the left. Like,
Yeah, and I can't.
which is a little bit fucking weird.
I can't remember if it was the first and second shot that were closer together, or the second and third were closer together.
First and second were close together.
So that's when he did that quick boom. He was like, he heard the boom, and then half a second later, boom, and then a couple more seconds later, boom, the fucking final shot supposedly.
So they heard that the recording, right, that you're saying that of the first shot. I was reading something that the reason why they threw it out is because it was tied to audio that like they could hear people talking in the background, and that conversation they tied to happening at the morgue. So they're saying it was just some type of loud noise that happened while they're at the morgue, not a gunshot.
How they get so confused.
I don't know. That was one of the theories that I read. That
So the police say it was at the street, and then the other people say like, no, it was at the morgue.
yeah. Well, no.
Because they say it was at the street at the time. There's a police cruiser was recording some sound or whatever, and they took that and analyzed it and were like, oh wait, okay, at this they went back to the point later, and they're like, okay, this is where sound was recorded, and they try to replicate like the sounds of where it would come from. They're like,
Yeah.
oh no, that sound like looks like maybe it came from the grassy knoll or something. So
Yeah. No, that's just the one thing that I was reading. But
yeah, so man, there's just like,
did you hear about like that photograph too? That was kind of weird.
which one?
The one where Oswald was photographed standing downstairs in a doorway when the shooting happened, and he was with 2 FBI officers.
While the shooting happened?
Yeah, in custody. And then I guess another unexpected police officer showed up, and he made a statement. And he obviously wasn't involved in what was going on, and he could see the FBI officers trying to encourage Oswald to run so they could shoot him. They're like, yeah, go ahead, like take off, like you could get away, kind of thing.
So I was at the,
That was around, at the time of the shooting.
and then let him run, and then they found him.
They wanted him to run so they could shoot him.
So they were there. He left, got on the bus, ended
Yeah.
up shooting the cops supposedly, and went to the movie theater and got busted.
Yeah.
Weird, man. There's just like,
Well, then
this one has just spawned so much crazy shit.
And then what about like the FBI illegally seizing all the evidence, right? Taking the gun, taking the shells, everything, taking the fucking gun, and apparently that was all directed by LBJ. That was LBJ's like idea to get them to seize all the evidence.
As soon as the president's not dead, the vice president takes control, right?
Yeah, and-
does he
and-
have to be sworn in?
Yes.
Yeah, he was sworn in on the flight on the way back. So he wasn't sworn in
Till then-
that second, but he was already making the calls.
Yeah. So they seize all the fucking gun, everything, which was illegal. The FBI didn't have jurisdiction to seize any of that shit, and LBJ didn't have the power to do that. And then later, there was a document signed by J. Edgar Hoover saying that there were no fucking fingerprints or anything on the gun. Okay.
Yeah, I see.
So then the following
Hoover
Sunday,
was the director of the FBI
yes,
at the time.
Yeah.
Or was
that
FBI
liked
or
to dress
CIA?
up like a chick. He was a weirdo.
FBI?
FBI.
FBI, okay.
So that following Sunday, after they seized everything, the following Sunday, Oswald gets killed by Jack Ruby. Okay? That night, the rifle is taken to the same fucking morgue that Oswald's at. The FBI brings the rifle there, where Oswald's at, according to this fucking funeral director. And they're down there for I don't know how long with the body and the gun. And then magically there's fingerprints on the rifle.
Interesting.
It's fucked.
And the fingerprints,
See-
they were not, wasn't there, it's supposed to be like a 9-point match or something, right? Or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was like a 2 or a 3, like barely any. And they just like, considered that like a match.
And then like other fucking shady shit. Like apparently there's some like records of Oswald actually working for the FBI and the CIA. Mm-hmm. And then so as soon as he dies, all those records suddenly fucking disappear, and they refuse to fucking release his tax information because they say it's a fucking an issue for national security.
Of course, still to this day, probably.
Yeah, it's fucked.
National security.
It's so fucked. But on that same end, like there's some other fucking shady shit about Oswald too, right? Which I look at this at two ends, right? So first of all, here's some information that makes you think, oh, he's not an upside, a guy that you could actually believe was a murderer, like,
Yeah.
and or this information makes you feel like it would be even that much easier to pin this murder on him. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
So stuff like fucking he had documented mental issues, right? He was described by a psychiatrist that he was living in an immersed fantasy life, turning around the ideas of omnipotence and power on which he uses to compensate for his current shortcomings and frustrations. He was also said to have personality disturbances and like schizoid features
Right.
and aggressive tendencies, right? And then, like you were saying, he defected to Russia and then ended up begging to come back because they wouldn't give him Russian citizenship. And when they wouldn't give him Russian citizenship, apparently he attempted to kill himself in Russia.
Yes. At that time, it seems weird. I've heard it too. It's weird that supposedly he got back into the States really easily, and he got his wife back into the States really easily. And you're like, Cold War, you go to Russia, you're there for who knows how long,
You shouldn't
and he
have
just fucking popped back in with a Russian wife.
Well, and-
no big deal.
And then I guess this too, like this one, it's kind of fucking, I don't know. This is a little bit far-fetched, but apparently he was tied to another assassination attempt. So he tried
Right,
to.
I heard about that one.
He tried to make a move on a fucking general. What was his name? Ted Walker, General Walker. So I guess from a 30-meter range, Oswald fired a shot from a rifle through the guy's window and it ended up hitting the window frame. And just some ricochet ended up hitting the guy. So he was never quite he wasn't killed. He was just injured. But
So wait, another instance where his first shot is bogus.
yeah. And then they tied the same bullet casings to that Carcona.
I think they might have just fucking. Who knows?
Well, yeah,
He's dead. Once a guy's dead, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, but so remember how I was saying about that guy? You were saying nobody could make that shot, and then I was like, no, that Howard Donahue guy did.
One guy made it.
Yeah, this Howard Donahue guy. So Howard Donahue makes the shot, but is also very insistent. Like, this guy is the fucking best of the best of the best.
He's the best.
Best of the best of the best, sir.
Sir. Yeah.
Captain America. So yeah, this Howard Donahue guy makes his shot. They put it on TV. It's a big thing. Great. But he's very, like, he's saying, like, well, I'm the best. I'm one of the best in the world. I don't believe this guy could have made the shot. So he goes down the fucking rabbit hole just like we do, ripping everything apart. And I'm not going to get into everything that he does, but his theory ends up saying that the shots were in a different sequence than the Howard Commission said, right? And that he ends up finding out that one of the autopsy reports, like you were saying, remember how you said that I forget who the guy who was working on the tracheotomy,
McLennan or whatever.
Yeah, he said that the bullet hole was in a different spot in the head.
Yeah.
And so does Donahue. When he goes and sees another doctor, a doctor goes over the autopsy report and says, oh, they made a mistake. It was lower. But what Donahue concluded was that the fact that this shot had to come from the back left, and the fact that the second bullet fragmented means it had to come from a different gun.
Different gun.
Right? So he's saying, so the idea of two shooters, right? And like the entry wound on the back of Kennedy's head was 6 millimeters. The bullet casings that they had for the Carcona were 6.5 millimeters. So couldn't have been done by one of those bullets, according to him. Right?
Right.
So what he kind of thinks, like what his theory ends up coming, because he's saying it comes from the back left, and the exact angle adds up to one of the fucking cars, one of the Secret Service cars that were trailing right behind.
Still, that's, to me, shot from the back, how, I guess.
Well, this is how they kind of sums it up. So, cars trailing, right? Shots are fired. Hits the brake. Here's with fucking Agent Hickey, who apparently
was behind, right?
Who's only a mechanic for the CIA. But since all the CIA agents went out on a bender the night before and didn't get home till 5:00, they put him in the back of one of the trail car, and they put him in charge of holding the AR-15, the gun that everybody denied even being with the Secret Service that day.
They had an AR-15 in 1963.
Yeah, and everybody denied it until a fucking picture showed up with him holding it, and you could see him. He's sitting up on the car holding the AR-15 like fucking Tony Montana, man. Like the guy's fucking waving it around. And so Kennedy's vehicle comes to a fucking stop. Hits the brakes. Shots are fired. The trail car obviously has to fucking hit the brakes. He lurches forward, AR-50 in hand. It's always cocked, locked, ready to go, except for the safety should be on.
So they think it's shot by accident.
So apparently he's looking around to see where the fucking shooter was. Safety's off. He lurches forward. AR-15s carry these fragmented bullets. He accidentally blows fucking JF Kennedy's fucking head off.
It's hard to get behind that one.
Totally. But fucking, you know what I mean? There's so many fucking theories. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I don't know.
There's too many.
I personally Go ahead, Braden.
Well, it just goes back, like, whenever we start talking about the FBI and Hoover gets involved too, I start to think, like, you know, I start to think if they did have blackmail on Hoover and stuff, like, to what lengths wouldn't he go to hide these prints and hide that kind of stuff?
He had crazy, dude. Hoover had crazy skeletons in the closet, man.
Yeah,
like, fucking crazy shit.
And that was a time where, like, that shit would ruin you, like, absolutely totally. Fucking ruin you.
Now it's like, you're into what you're in, big deal.
But it was a different time then. And the other thing that gives validity to this is his fucking brother was assassinated too, trying to push his policies.
It's true.
Years later.
Yeah, it was just crazy.
What was his brother's name?
Robert Kennedy.
Robert.
Do you know that Robert fucking requested to have his brain? John's brain?
Really?
Yeah, weird, hey? And no one said no to him. They're just kind of like, I guess, yeah, which they shouldn't have.
They gave him his brain?
Yeah, they let him have his brain.
It's insane.
Did either of you guys ever hear about the Three Tramps? Did you come across that?
Yeah, I did come across Three Tramps.
So do you want...
Is this the guy, the Black Umbrella, too?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. Here, I'll give a little synopsis of the Three Tramps, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so... Okay, in 1966, a JFK assassination researcher, Richard E. Sprague, came across 7 unpublished newspaper photographs that were taken in Dealey Plaza between 2:20 and 2:30 p.m. on November 22nd, 1963. The photographs documented an event that was known as from the testimony of 2 law enforcement officers, but otherwise unreported. The arrest of 3 men in the railway yards behind Dealey Plaza. The photographs depicted the 3 men being escorted by 2 or 3 armed policemen past the Texas School Book Depository and across Houston Street to the sheriff's office. So, kind of spooky things about this is there's no official arrest records for either of these guys. Okay?
Weird.
Yeah, like
Okay.
nothing. So, what's suspiciousness of this? Although the men wore scruffy clothes, they were clean shaven, and the 2 were not wearing a hat, had neat haircuts. So, you know what I mean? Why are they dressed up like hobos, but they're sharp dressed dudes?
Yeah.
And
Weird.
none of them had any documentation on them, and you know what I mean? Just kind of wrong place, wrong time, eerie situation for them. Well, 3 of the 3 tramps were E. Howard Hunt, Chauncey Holt, and somebody with a pretty famous son by the name of Charles Harrelson. Anybody know who he might be related to?
Oh,
Woody?
I know a guy named Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. So, okay. So those are the 3 suspects. Now, let's backtrack it. In September 1980, Harrelson, who just happened to be a fucking murdering maniac.
He was?
Oh, yeah. Who they fucking think that Woody based his character from Natural Born Killers off of his dad.
Crazy.
Yeah. So Harrelson, 1980, Harrelson surrendered to the police after a 6-hour standoff in which he was reportedly high as fuck on cocaine during the standoff. He threatened suicide and stated that he had killed Judge Wood, who he's being accused of killing, and John F. Kennedy. So as they're arresting him and he's high as hell, he's saying, I blew John F. Kennedy's head off.
Oh, that's right. I did read that.
Isn't that fucked?
crazy.
He later recants it and saying, "Oh, I
course
was
he
high
did.
on cocaine." But for sure, somebody probably came and visited him in jail and was like, "Listen, you fucking recant that shit, or your son.
You're getting shanked.
We're gonna go
Son's
right on the
getting killed.
fucking set of Cheers, and we're gonna blow away
going-
Woody.
he's going
fucking
down.
dead. He's fucking gone.
Weird.
Right? Cool though.
So many fucking theories.
Oh man, we didn't even touch fucking like. There's so much more.
There's more.
Way more.
Honestly, they could go for like it's a fucking another podcast on its own.
You know what? I worry about these podcasts because, you know, we all get our theories and we write all this shit and then we just ramble for like 2 minutes. I'm like, did anything I say make sense? Like,
I never usually know until I listen back when I'm editing. I'm like, idiots.
yeah, totally. I bet. Fuck. I'm just going to edit that
Bunch
out.
of fucking idiots on this show.
That's fucking funny.
For all the good points we make, there's always a point or two that are like, why do you even talk about that? It's fucking stupid.
Sounded good at the time, right?
It does. Anyways, there's this like, it's weird. So I'm gonna go with what Jesse Ventura, and this is why he is so like outraged about it. So you have the murder, the assassination of President Kennedy. Say it's Oswald, whoever. Shoots him, he gets away on the bus. He shoots the cop. He gets caught in the movie theater with no ticket. When he is first arrested, he's like. He's super calm. He's like, I don't even know what I'm being arrested for. Like I didn't buy a ticket for the movie. That's all I know. Like I didn't have a ticket for the movie. That's all I know. And instantly, they already say like, yeah, he shot the president instantly. No fingerprints, no trial, no nothing. The next day he's dead, and that's it.
You know,
So if there's a conspiracy and you do have a conspiracy and say like, I guarantee Oswald's in it on some portion. I don't even know if he knew he was in it, but I think like they set him up to be the patsy. He even said it right away.
Maybe his like, okay, so obviously, let's say he is a patsy, right? And they were trying to tie up loose ends. Oswald's already been tried. He was supposed to be dead a while ago, right? Where they're not only are the police looking for the killer, but the people who set this all up are looking to get rid of this guy, obviously, right? Maybe his way of like it's actually kind of genius, being like, how can I get how can I get protection right now? What's the easiest way to do it? Walk into a fucking movie theater without a ticket. You know what I mean? That's the least fucking shitty thing you could do to get arrested. You know what I mean? The thing is, so he gets arrested, and he automatically. If I was him, I'd assume, I'm safe. There's nobody can get at me while I'm in jail.
The thing is with that one is, no one's going to arrest you for not having a movie ticket.
No.
Back then, fuck yeah.
No way.
Man. Oh man, it's fucking murder, rape, going in without a movie ticket. Okay, this is different times, man.
Capital punishment.
Yeah, it's different times.
I'm saying, like,
you telling me you went in without a movie ticket? You piece of shit. Probably got pistol whipped for it.
I got arrested actually. Yeah.
Blasphemy.
I'm just saying it's weird. It's just weird.
It's totally weird.
Where you go after you shoot the president, you just go check out a movie with no ticket.
100% LBJ did it. 100%. So I'm 100% firm believer LBJ did it.
I'm you know what? I'm agreeing with that. I think he was at the top.
100%.
He was on board with like the war in Vietnam against he was on the Cold War to continue. He wanted all that shit. He was part of the military industrial complex.
See now,
and there's like he hired some fucking. There's people in the CIA who just kill people. Yeah. That's their job.
Well, he's got tons of support because everybody wants war. It makes money.
Makes so much money.
He's saying, "Listen, you guys get this guy out of the way. Make me the president. I'll get us more.
I'll do it."
But listen, LBJ, I know you're dead, but if only you would have watched fucking House of Cards, you could have fucking done it without killing him.
Yeah.
You could have pulled a Frank Underwood, been sneaky, and got in there. You didn't have to fucking have the guy killed. It's fucked up, man.
Well, the thing is, I think while LBJ definitely had a hand in being responsible, I think he was the next, like the powers that be, the big oil and the big military. He's the next in line to take the fall. Like if this investigation were to go down, it would hit LBJ before it starts hitting these big money people.
Well,
but I think
it's so easy. I think like they always but that's the best part about this though, is there's so many fucking fall people. You know what I mean? There's so many other. Okay. You know what? They're on. They know that it wasn't Oswald. They already beat us. Well, obviously it was the mob then. You know what I mean? Like they have so many other things to fucking tie it on. Mm-hmm. Like that's the best part about this whole fucking thing. They're so smart. There's so many things that fit into this that it can just be like, okay, obviously we can disprove it wasn't Oswald. Well, then it was obviously it was the mob, or it was the fucking secret societies. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird because it's you see them what I think happened is they were big oil and stuff had bought LBJ out. Like he was in big oil's pockets, and they were like, "Yeah, you're going to be the next president of the United States." And as we've seen in other cases, it didn't go their way. They couldn't buy it, right? They couldn't throw enough money to sway an election to beat the charisma of John F. Kennedy. Like they couldn't do it. Yeah. So they lost. And then when he was doing all this thing and making all these high enemies, I think this was orchestrated to get the guy they wanted in, who was in their pocket, into power where he needed to be. And it's weird because like John F. Kennedy in that speech pretty much warned America about the America that America is now.
It's exactly what it is. It's weird.
It's really weird.
And it wasn't just Kennedy. Before him, I thought it was Eisenhower.
Yeah.
He actually warned people against the military-industrial complex, about how that power could be abused and taken for granted and used to like push Americans into having a more surveillance state and having the government have so much control and have so much power in the military. He warned against that. And then Kennedy was elected. He warned against that. He's killed.
Yeah,
is this all just some lone gunman running around and he just shoots the guy? Like I don't know. He definitely could have shot him. I'm not saying he couldn't. he could have been a body double. There's a lot of theories about him having a body double that could speak fluent Russian. He was actually a double agent. There's a lot of theories that like he knew what he was doing, but he didn't know who he was assassinating at the time. And then like there's so many fucking theories that just for one lone crazed gunman to shoot him after him saying all that shit. Like I don't know. I don't think so.
But that's the thing with these cases when they seal them up and they tie them up with red tape for time. Like time is the worst enemy of the truth. Like
this is gonna sound ignorant because I can't believe I don't know this, but do they know who killed Robert?
He died in a plane crash.
No, he didn't. He got assassinated.
Yeah,
he got shot.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought he died
yeah,
no, their cousin or something, or
another
another
one died in a plane crash, and they thought that the plane
Kennedy
was sabotaged, right?
Yeah. So do they
Robert F. Kennedy was fatally shot at the Ambassador Hotel, and he was shot by
probably
Sirhan, a Palestinian Arab with Jordan citizenship.
What was the motive? Did it say?
It was just his obsession. RFK must die. He wrote in his diary, RFK must die.
That's a little bit of MK Ultra mind control there, I think.
That is weird, actually. Because he wrote in his diary, my determination to eliminate RFK is becoming more and more unshakable obsession. RFK must die. RFK must be killed.
What is with these Robert grown men in journals? I don't understand.
Robert F. Kennedy must be assassinated. Robert F. Kennedy must be assassinated before the 5th of June, 1968.
Weird. I'm telling you, fucking mind control.
That's crazy.
It's weird.
What if fucking Harvey? What if he was really a double agent and they maybe they fucking mind controlled him? A little MK Ultra.
Also, just everybody in the pod and whoever else is listening. Don't name your kids with 3 names. Like, don't.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, they're gonna be molesters or murderers or something. It's never
You're
good.
setting your kid up for failure at that
Fucking
point.
right. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it. I don't know why, but it's staggering. Every time maybe they choose to use their middle names when they talk about them.
Maybe that's just when they become that person, then they just use their middle name.
Yeah.
It's like if I just fucking went on a killing spree and now I'm just fucking they use my middle name. I'm not gonna say my middle name actually. No one gets to hear it.
No. It's Donald.
Yeah, John F. Kennedy Jr. died in 1999. His plane crashed.
What? Sorry, go ahead.
Right,
say that again.
They fucking have it. They call it the Kennedy curse.
Yeah.
I just said that.
Crazy, man.
People did not like the Kennedys. They were too against the Iranian establishment.
The establishment, yeah.
Fuck the establishment.
Anyways, I think we should start wrapping it up. There's a million theories. Was there 3 bullets or 4? Did one come from the front or all from the back? Was it grassy knoll? Was it just Harvey? Was there more than one shooter? Just the headshot, the Zapruder film.
Was there
where the head explodes backwards? Or like how did the first bullet go through 2 people and end up in the leg?
Was there any male models involved or Magantu?
Was there any weird mind control songs?
I don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know.
It's crazy.
So crazy.
Anyways, let's what do we got left? Anything to shout out?
No, not that I can think of off the top of my head. Let me pull up my.
How good did I look? How good did I look in that fucking alien theorist theorizing tarp? Eh?
Oh, good. Sharp Bud, man! You got lots of comments.
Yeah, right on. Are those been flying off the shelves or what?
Oh, the T-shirts.
They're fucking sharp, man. I love it.
Honestly, the T-shirts. I got a new order in because I had to order some more sizes. So, if you want a T-shirt, alientheorist.com/shop, and check them out because they keep going.
They're great. They fit really good too.
It gets to the point like where I don't want to ship them anymore because it's a lot of work.
Oh!
Whoa! You all right? You alive?
Are you being paranormally activated?
Yeah, fuck, man. Some fucking China just fell and fucking whacked me.
Jesus, really?
Oh, yeah, that's crazy. Jesus.
Holy fuck! I thought you had a ghost over there.
Oh man, this is the weirdest thing ever. Okay, so this China, this china bowl somehow fell off the top shelf. My cat's not in here. That was my first thought. It broke on the lower part right in front of me. Broke glass everywhere. As I'm putting the cup back up on the top shelf, there's broken ceramic pieces all over the top shelf.
Weird.
Like it exploded.
Duck.
That's
Maybe someone's trying to assassinate you.
Oh shit!
Duck!
Get down. There's going to be at least 3 or 4 more shots.
Brain's dead.
You had a good run. 50
Now-
podcasts is overachieving for
Now
him
taking
anyways.
replacements.
Yeah.
We said we wanted to make this better.
I think Mr. Conspiracy could probably do a better job.
Yeah, I think we'll just bring him in full time.
Trade in, trade up.
Hey, go for it. See how that goes. You
Anyways-
won't make it to 51.
Let's do. I'm gonna do Zell's Prolapser of the Week.
Who is it?
Our newest Patreon supporter at the highest level. Eliezer Arrogant Jr. Champion. He's
Ebenezer, way to go, bud.
he's a fisherman from Calgary.
Oh, right on.
Oh no, car guy, not Calgary.
He's a car guy. He's a big car
I
guy.
can't believe I got that wrong. I actually don't know where he's from, but you do. So we appreciate you supporting the show,
Yeah, you're a beauty.
making the show roll around.
Thanks, bud.
You're a legend. What else you got? You want to read any 5-star reviews?
I don't have him up and my phone died. That's the only place I had him saved.
Oh, your phone's dead too? So
Yeah.
we're your only open lines of communication?
That's it.
Jesus.
So if something happens.
I know, we
down?
heard a fucking werewolf outside. It was
Okay,
pretty fucking
before we
creepy.
started recording, there was this fucking savage beast outside.
Blood curdling fucking howl.
The door was wide open because it was hot in here. We're like, close the door.
Yeah,
Fucking close the door.
We're like stripped down here because it's so hot, but it doesn't matter because I don't want to die.
So it could have just been an ordinary dog, is what you're saying?
No, it was
No, it was definitely a fucking werewolf.
Yeah, it had to be.
100%.
Okay.
Had to be. Without a doubt.
Well, I don't want to get like down to semantics with you guys, but like it's not a full moon, so
Well, I don't know.
You know what?
Doesn't
There's
matter,
a
it's lichen.
There's some werewolves that can change on will.
Yeah, lichens.
okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, deal with it.
The true bloodline can change
Yeah.
on will.
Come on. You should
Okay.
know this.
Anyways,
See,
I got a
so
few.
you-
I got a few reviews I was going to read.
Okay.
Oh man, you guys are writing too long of reviews. Just kidding. I fucking love you guys from Sabrina Moon from USA.
Right on.
I've
Oh,
always
she's been tweeting us lots just by saying yo and stuff.
Atta girl.
we love her. I've always been that friend that people tell their trippy stories to because I'm so open to everything and have had UFO sightings and ghost stories myself. So the moment I found this podcast, I just fell in love with you guys. I'm part of a UFO group based out of Los Angeles, and I'm also a hairdresser, so I'm constantly spreading the word about ATT. Woo!
Right on.
To my UFO buddies and clients. Keep doing what you're doing, guys. You guys are great. Sabrina Moon. Thank you, Sabrina. It's a fucking good one.
All right. I got one.
You got one?
This one's from Tim is the Real Panda from the US of A. Thank you for being the best. Actually, I think it's meant, thank you for being the best.
That's awesome.
So I have to say, I've never been one to get behind all the conspiracies, other than the thought of aliens. Played my first episode of you guys, Area 51, and I couldn't get enough. Now I have listened to every one of your episodes. Some I have listened to twice. When I'm at work, it makes my day working on my car go by fast. Sometime I go home and I look up the episode and find out more. I just can't get enough of your show. Please keep up the good work. Your forever fan from the US of A, Arizona. Oh, and Phoenix Lights should make into an episode. I got to see that one happen.
Lucky guy.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd you even find that one? I fucking don't even see that one on my fucking screen.
Ooh, there's a good 1-star one.
I know. I just saw
We were
that.
just-
I was reading it. It's hilarious.
We'll read the 1-star in after hours.
Yeah.
What's
you want to?
what's their name?
I'm not going to even tell their name.
I don't want to say
Oh,
it.
I want to fucking chirp them. I hope they listen again. Oh, you don't like it when we drop F-bombs? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, fuck you. Anyways, yeah, those are the top 2 there. So let's stick with that. Patreon. If you want to support the show, keep it ad free. Patreon.com/alientheorists. There's a few different tiers there. You know, if you make a bunch of money and you want to support your boys, go on there. The show is always going to be free. It's not changing. But if you like the show and you want to hear a little bit more, we give some after hours. We give some bonus case files, and we're actually going to do. I think we're doing a new podcast, a type of true crime, and before we release it online, we're going to release it to our patrons first, and then once we have a bunch of episodes, we'll release it to the world. But
You've got to make sure it's good first.
yeah, we got.
Yeah, it's our friends. Some friends we know are gonna do it.
Yeah, we got. So we're expanding the network.
Right on.
We're creating our own network. You've heard of Podcast One. Now your Meteor Podcast is going to take over the world.
Fucking right.
Well, they're good.
Take over a small portion of
take
the podcast market. a very small portion. Anyways, I'm going to put one more song on the end of the podcast. So I got one more. I think I have 2 more to put in actually. So my band Lucky Monkey, if you've been listening to the songs, we put out our CD about 6 weeks ago, and this is our heaviest one off the album.
Fuck yeah.
It's called "Say What You Want."
It's a good tune.
It is my favorite to play, so hopefully it's your favorite to listen to.
Zelly shreds in it.
That's fun. Anyways, that's 50. It's been fun 50.
It has been 50.
I think we make 100. I think we can do it. I think the show's just going to get better and better.
Apparently not according to that asshole.
Yeah, you know what? You get a couple duds every once in a while. They're like, you guys fucking suck. You're like, all right. Thanks.
You can always
Thanks
turn
for,
it off.
Thanks for taking the time out of your day to search us on iTunes, leave a review, and submit it. I'm sure it makes you feel
review
awesome.
him, fucking dick.
You should. It should be like Airbnb where you get to review your clients.
Yeah, I agree.
These fucking clients are fucking
Yeah.
dicks.
I'm gonna one star this 1-star review.
Yeah, fuck you.
That'd be awesome if you could do that.
Yeah.
All right, boys, we're going to go after hours. So all you Patreon supporters, you'll hear more of us. And for everyone else, we'll see you next week or maybe the week after. See what we can do. Anything else?
Nah.
No, that's it.
That's it.
So, as we like to say, live long and prolapse.
Need some time. come on, baby, don't tell me that it's all temporary. Look back, come on, baby, don't tell me it's not worth walking away.